The Campaign for America's Future is proud to give Mayor de Blasio its Progressive Champion Award.
Thank you so much. I have to say, it is a joy to be here. It's a joy to be here among people who believe in progressive change and know we can achieve it, and been fighting for it year after year. First of all, we are a better people as Americans because of The Nation magazine and because of what Katrina does every day. Let's thank her. Let's thank Sally for stealing all my jokes. And for all she does to speak up for progressives around the country. Thank you, Sally. Let us thank Robert and Roger for the vision that they created and have sustained for year after year after year. And in a moment, you'll get to hear from two people who are being honored because they're proving that organizing people and fighting for the rights of labor is alive and well if you do it the right way. Lee and Saru, congratulations on tonight's honor for you. And thank you to everyone for supporting the Campaign for America's Future. It's an honor for me to receive this, but what's most important is to recognize the classic concept. I'm only here because we built a movement of people. And we put forward a vision of what progressive change looked like, and we asked folks to come along and organize it and build it against the odds, to build it because they believed it was right, because they believed that they could actually take power in their own city by reaching out to their neighbors and their coworkers and spreading a message of what, yes, economic populism looks like in a city and how it can change people's lives for the better. And the fact is, we said from the beginning that we were not going to accept the conventional wisdom. And I think if you think about what this organization is all about and what the debate this year has devolved into, it comes down time and time again to a certain conventional wisdom being put forward. And it's either a question of we're going to accept it or we're going to reject it and build our own sensibility. We said from the beginning, in my campaign, we were not going to do this by the numbers. We were not going to do it in a way that was prescribed, talking about issues in a certain manner that was acceptable and staying within the boundaries set by the conventional discourse. We knew people were hurting. We knew it was a tale of two cities. It wasn't just a convenient phrase. It was the truth on the ground. And people demanded that it be talked about, brought out in the open, and acted on. We focused this entire administration on fighting inequality, in particular income inequality, because this is the issue of our times, because this is what people are living through, and what they expect from all of us, particularly those of us in government, is a response, a coherent and energetic and vivid response to the times we're living in. When our democracy has functioned best, when our government has been most meaningful, is when it actually responded to people's conditions. So if there's something we're doing that's working, it's that we are first listening to our people and coming up with a program for change and relentlessly implementing it, because we have to respond to people suffering. We have to respond to the challenges people face. And when you do, they can believe in something, they can be part of something, they can be part of a movement that takes us somewhere. So economic populism is alive and well if we're only bold enough to tap into it. I see it all over the country. I see it all over the country. I see mayors in particular all over this country moving on paid sick leave, moving on higher wages and benefits, moving on early child education. You see it all over. It hasn't been described as the movement that it is. And don't expect it to be in the conventional discourse or the conventional media. That's why we have The Nation, ladies and gentlemen, and some other very fine outlets to shed a little more light. But it's happening. It's happening. When I was first elected, I got invited to a meeting at the White House, new mayors, all elected in 2013. a disparate group from all over the country. I expected everyone to have their own pet issue or difference of approach. One by one around the table, everyone talked about income inequality. Everyone talked about how far behind their folks had fallen, how their cities needed a different approach, and they talked about things like paid sick leave. They talked about raising the minimum wage. They talked about living wage standards. They talked about working to organize working people. Something's happening out there. And the fact that it's not on the front pages doesn't mean it's happening any less. It's happening, we can tap into it, and we can build it. And then you will hear the classic doubting Thomas concept that we progressives, when given the chance to govern, can't actually make these things come to life. Well, 50,000 plus kids in full-day pre-K. More than 1 million more New Yorkers now have paid sick leave. We are in the process of creating affordable housing over the next 10 years for 500,000 people in our city. These are things that are happening here and now. So if anyone says progressives can't win, or if anyone says progressives can't govern, I'm going to tell you what you can say to them. I can tell you what you can tell them to do, where you can tell them to go. They should go to New York City and see for themselves that it's happening. So brothers and sisters, it can be done. It can be done. A lot of people in this room have fought a long time. Sometimes it feels like we're pushing uphill, swimming upstream. But we've been right all along. And more people get it. They want us to tap into it. They want us to lead. They want us to build. They want us to remind them it can be done. And they're ready to go along for the ride. So let's make it happen. Thank you.